San Francisco Bay Area almost every Tuesday night. It's ESG Live with Chuck, Paul, and Ramir. We've got your weekly ESG community content, scooter news, and more. And now, your host, Chuck Temple!
Everybody, thanks for being patient with us. We always have a little something going on, but that's, someone said it, maybe Paul, that's how you know it's real. We're real people here. This is live, so things happen. So anyway, thanks for sticking with us. Thanks for everybody that's in the live chat, and for all the people that aren't in the live chat, and for all the thousands. This show's bigger and bigger all the time, which is so cool. But for the thousands and thousands of people that watch this after it's live, thank you for watching as well. So today we are going to be deep diving the Dualtron Victor. Where did they come up with this name? A lot of cool things about this. We're going to be getting into, the deepest reasons why someone's going to love this scooter, things about the scooter that could be deal breakers for some. We're going to talk about things you should know before buying one, secrets of how they made this the fastest scooter for weight and for price that we've ever tested, and the longest range dual motor at this weight. So a lot of amazing things about this scooter. We're also going to have Melvin from Voro Motors on and asking him all the toughest questions. So he'll be on in a few minutes. Also, we've got a lot of just like scooter world updates. So we're going to talk about the new Minimotors City scooter that they just announced. We got some photos of that. The Unagi Model 11, so not the one. They just released last Thursday, 9:30 a.m., the Model 11. We're going to be just giving a quick summary of the Micromobility conference that was also last Thursday. Show some videos of Andrew Yang on a one-wheel, and then also show a mayor that is taking cars parked in the bike lane into his own hands with a tank. So anyway, get ready for that. So tonight we've got Ramir and Paul joining the show tonight. Let me get mics on. There we go.
Let's do it again. Yo.
What's up, guys? How y'all doing?
Good to be here.
All right. What's new? What's the latest?
Nothing much. We're just riding scooters, reviewing scooters, making videos, making it happen for the ESG community. We love you guys. Giveaway. Did we mention the giveaway?
Yes, let's mention the giveaway. So the last month or so, we've been working on a giveaway with Apollo. They're giving away the Phantom, the V2 of the Phantom. So one lucky winner is going to be winning that at the end of the show tonight. And I don't think you can still enter. Maybe you can. Check the video description for that, or just chat to David because that's
Vosk knows.
Yeah, Vosk knows. But anyway, thank you to Mac and Chris over at Apollo because they're hooking it up for all of you guys. And then make sure to hang out on our Facebook group. Go to the Instagram, which just passed 9,000 members on Instagram, which is cool.
It's over 9,000. Yes. Somebody's gonna get that one. If you get it, put it in the comments. I'm there. All right. I'm sorry.
And I think that's all the things I need to say. Thanks for joining us. I know it's the 4 o'clock start time. It's always going to be 4 o'clock because everybody's got kids to pick up over here. So anyway, without further ado, let's get into a quick commercial break sponsored by Voro Motors.
And we're back, and we're going to get Melvin Leon to join us here from Voro Motors. We're just going to get him on the line, and we're going to talk about the Dualtron Victor, among other things. And let me scroll down a little bit.
And we got Mike Suarez.
Mike Suarez.
So real quick. Boom, Mike Suarez for the $25. As always, thank you so much for your support, Mike Suarez. And then also, just so you know, during, when we're talking about the deep dive and the Victor and all that kind of stuff, there we go. Make sure to hit @ElectricScooterGuide and put in a question, and we'll get to your question at the end of that segment. If it's about any scooter, we'll still get to it. It'll just be at the end of the show rather than the end of the segment. And if you want your question answered right away, then give us some cash, like Mike Suarez. But you don't have to. We'll still get to it. We'll still get to it. Okay. Cool. Yeah. So the Victor, do you know where they came up with the name Victor?
I don't know. I mean, I think it's just a reference to winning, because it's just.
There's got to be a like somebody's name, Victor.
No, I mean on the websites it's just like all about winning and victory. And
Victor
that
for
kind
victory.
Of victory. Yeah.
Maybe they just didn't have enough characters like on the.
No. Or maybe victory was taken. It could be a trademark thing.
That's possible. That's possible. Are we waiting for Melvin? Yeah, we're waiting for Melvin.
Yep.
Well, we can start maybe talking about some of the scooter stuff while we wait for him. Or
yeah. And so I can just, I can talk about so we're going to do things a little bit differently when we get into the deep dive tonight. We're going to I realized that, when we're out testing scooters, we're looking for, a bunch of different things, but, really at the heart of it, we're looking for, what are people going to love about this scooter? And then also, so like why they're going to buy it, basically. Mm-hmm. And then, what could be deal breakers? With things that people, if there's the one or two things that for certain people, they're just absolutely
I have those things. I have things that I will not do on scooters.
Yeah.
Now.
Yeah, if you like 125-pound scooter and a bunch of stairs, deal breaker.
Yeah, it's a deal breaker.
Yeah.
It's a deal breaker.
And then you get into the other things, which is like things people should know before they buy. It's not a deal breaker because it's something you can live with. But it's like the rattly front headlight on the Pegasus. It's like if you know that's coming and you know how to fix it, it's not a big deal.
Sure.
But if you pull it out of the box and you experience it on your first day and you didn't know it was coming, it kind of messes up your first day.
That's true. And then you can have that Loctite handy or using certain Allen wrench size.
Exactly.
And you're prepared for it. That's what we're trying to do.
If you know you're going to need certain tools or whatever, you can just be ready for that first day.
Yep.
So the things you need to know, and then the other thing we're going to cover because it's a deep dive, of course, we're going to talk about how they did all the cool things they did because that's what we do in a deep dive.
Sure.
And so that's what we're going to cover in the Dualtron Victor deep dive. And in fact, maybe I'll just dive in.
Let's just go for it and then get to the interview when he's there. I see an empty chair, so either it's frozen or he's taking his own bathroom break. I don't know.
Could be. So we'll start with things that people will love about the Victor and the range. I'll start with the range. The range is incredible. It's not a huge scooter, and so I was kind of surprised. It has the 6th longest range of any scooter we've ever tested. Yeah. It's 39.3 miles.
Yeah, I mean, when we've tested a lot of scooters, a lot of big ones now.
Yeah, we're like up to close to 80 scooters now that we've done full range. If you think about that, riding 80 scooters till the batteries died and then pushing them back home, we did that. And then you can see that data here on the screen. This is going to be this is one for your magnifying glasses. You want to pause this video later on and pick through it. You can see all the different things. But the important part is that basically there's a trend line that runs through this. Anything above the trend has more range per dollar than you would expect. And in red highlighted here is the Dualtron Victor.
And you got the Cruiser course, such an outlier.
And then the Wolf, I think the Wolf Warrior X Pro is the one just above it.
So above the line means it's kind of a good deal also. Not only does it get a lot of range, as you can see, it's like there's only a few scooters that are above that on the Y-axis, but anything above the trend line, right, is...
And anywhere along the line, the further you are from the line, the more of an outlier the scooter is. The weirder, the weirdly good it is in the upper direction and the, strangely...
What's that one covered by us? Is that the Nami? It must be.
Oh yeah, that must be up at 50. If we're north of 50 miles, it's got to be the Nami.
It's covered by our little.
Okay.
But that's fine. Yeah. We're not talking about that scooter today.
And then, so not only is the range per dollar pretty great, but the range per pound is also unusually good. And we've got another chart. It's a very similar looking chart because they're both, range is a big featured on both of these. Actually, we're going to switch back over now. We've got Melvin. Can you hear us, Melvin?
Hold on, I got you.
Okay, sorry.
There we go. That was my bad.
We couldn't hear you.
that was mine.
That was us.
Mine.
All right. So now, let me scroll back up a little bit. And okay, so now we're joined from Los Angeles by Melvin Leon. He's the head of operations at Voro Motors, and we're going to be talking to him today about the Dualtron Victor and a bunch of other stuff. And did I get that right? Are you head of operations? Is that your current title?
Yeah, that's correct. That's correct. Yeah. Thanks for having me.
Yeah,
and thanks for giving me the platform.
Yeah, thanks for coming. And I thought, before we get started talking about the Victor, can you give us an update on, I know you guys have been just growing a lot, and and just give us an update on like whether that's impacted other areas of the business and kind of what's going on at Voro.
Yeah, very good question, and we want to get that out of the way. So to start off, so people only start hearing feedback about our customer service lately because we have been growing. So imagine you are used to serving 100 people a day to 1,000 customers a day within a span of 1 month. The growth pressure is even higher when the products you're selling are their primary mode of transport. So we have made a lot of adjustments to control our growth speed. So one example, such as not accepting pre-orders for the King GT that early, which we are restocking this Thursday, Friday at our Los Angeles headquarters. So this gives us time to prepare for our bandwidth to serve every customer better. We would rather not sell the scooter if we don't have the bandwidth to serve. So at the same time, we still have a very large customer base that are happy. Mm-hmm. So if you are happy with your scooter, you're too busy riding and not complaining about it online.
Sure. That's a pretty big move to actually slow down, kind of slow down the orders in order to give you a chance to catch up. That's some commitment there.
Yeah, correct. Not just the King GT. If you notice, we are not accepting pre-orders for Storm Limited and Thunder 2 as well. Mm-hmm. And that's the primary reason. Mm-hmm.
And then it sounded like we were speaking earlier. It sounds like you've been staffing up quite a bit.
Yeah, correct. So we have been going on a hiring spree. So in the past 3 months. So however, due to the complexity of the products, so hiring and training is a time-consuming and delicate process. So it's not just a customer service team that we have to hire, but the quality inspectors and technicians that we have to recruit, because that affects the overall customer service experience. Yep. So we have already caught up with our shipping speed, and the majority of our US customers are receiving their scooters within a week or so. So if you're shopping for an electric scooter at this point, keep in mind that you're buying a scooter from an American company and with a legit 1-year warranty that we back.
Cool. So it sounds like you already got well underway, and but still also in process of just getting better and better day by day, being able to get back to people and make sure everybody's taken care of. Cool. And so when I noticed that when I look at the website, you guys carry, I think, 5 Dualtrons, and it's kind of overwhelming, like how many Dualtrons are out there in the world. But why did you pick the Storm, Thunder, Victor, Eagle, and Mini? How did you pick those out of all the scooters they make?
Yeah, so we started with these Dualtron models because they offer the most value per dollar and provide an excellent selection to our customers with small to large budgets. So for example, the Dualtron Mini is a great introduction to the powerful scooters that the Dualtron line offers in terms of price and performance. So riders can upgrade to a dual motor Dualtron in the future.
Cool. Yeah, it's kind of a good strategy. It's kind of like similar to what Costco does, where like you don't need to give people 100 choices. You need to give them 5 good ones. And so I appreciate that. That's and then now the Victor in particular. What made you decide that the Victor was one of the ones you wanted to carry?
Okay, so the Dualtron Victor. That's a very good question. So Dualtron Victor is a in between of it's made for someone who wants the benefit of a Dualtron 3, but the portability of a Dualtron Compact. So you don't have to pay the $3,000 price tag of the Dualtron 3, but you get all the benefits on the Dualtron Victor.
Makes sense. And then, we were talking earlier, I didn't realize there were so many differences between this one and previous generation scooters. Can you break down some of the differences? What's new about the new Victor?
Okay, so the new Dualtron Victor comes with a couple of new upgrades. So the Dualtron Victor that we are currently shipping has about 6 upgrades. So the first one, the old model comes with a curve and arcing kind of folding mechanism, whereas the new Dualtron Victor has a very straight folding mechanism.
So that's an easy way to be able to tell them apart immediately when you look at them then.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's the one way to tell the Dualtron Victor from the old and the new models. The new Victor also comes with a dual clamp stem system. So on the old model, there's no dual clamp. The new Victor also comes with a large bright deck lights, which the old Dualtron Victor does not have. Yep. The next update is the Dualtron Victor comes with a full hydraulic brakes, and the old Dualtron Victor comes with mechanical cable brakes. Yep. At this price point in the Dualtron, in the world of Dualtron, this is a great deal because at this price point, usually customers don't get full hydraulic brakes. So you can get it with the Dualtron Victor. Also, the latest model comes with a longer deck compared to the old model, longer by 4 cm. And the latest model comes with the ability to switch the suspension, which the old model does not have. So you can switch it in 5 suspension modes, like the Dualtron Storm.
Yeah, that surprised me. I'm so used to them being able to switch out the cartridges now. I kind of forget that that wasn't always the case. And so it is a kind of a newer feature that you can switch out the cartridges on the newer Dualtrons. So cool. And let's see. And then also spare parts availability. I noticed right now there's not a bunch listed on the website, but if people need spare parts, obviously they can still get them by calling you guys or emailing you.
Yeah, correct. So because the way we set this up, because when we get the Dualtron, we have a large inventory of spare parts. So there's a lot of skill that we have to go through. So like going through the photography and the website building process, it takes time to do it all at once and do it well. So if you are our customer and you need a specific spare part, you can always email, live chat, and call us. There's a very good chance we have them. We have a lot of them in stock, so can still make it happen for you.
Cool.
So in the coming days and weeks, you will be able to start seeing all the parts coming out on our website.
Nice.
So after this show, there's already some parts listed on the Dualtron spare parts page.
Good to know. And then also, speaking of lead times, what are your lead times right now for the Dualtron scooters?
So the lead time for all the Dualtron models that we have is we are all in stock and we are shipping daily.
Wow.
So, yep.
So that's great. So this time of year, people want to take advantage of there's a little bit of good weather left. They can order it and know they're gonna get it pretty soon. So good stuff.
Yeah.
Anything else that you'd like to share with us?
Yes. So a couple of things that I want to share. First of all, so like if you are looking to get a Dualtron in North America or anywhere in the world, for the same price point, you get a full true 1-year warranty with the longest post-purchase support. So we also partner with Extend. So Extend is a third-party extended warranty company that partner with Affinity Insurance Service. So it's a legit long-term insurance company. So if any electrical, so you can get the extended warranty for up to 3 years on top of the 1-year full warranty with us. So during the 3 years extended warranty, if any electrical or mechanical parts break down, you can send a ticket to Extend and they will send you a full brand new replacement scooter. So, but this Extend warranty have to be very careful when the customers are comparing prices online with different websites, because some companies offer Extend with just covering the repairs and parts. But with ours, you get a full brand new scooter.
Wow.
There's no question asked. So additional $600, you get a $4,000 scooter, brand new.
Wow.
Yep.
And then something people may not realize, in going back to the warranty that you get when you buy the scooter, they may not realize that that's not not always the case for Dualtrons. They don't always come with a 1-year warranty. It depends on where you buy it from. So I think typically it's like 6 months from different sellers that are not Voro.
Yep. Correct. So the factory warranty is 6 months, but the 1 year is a true warranty with us directly.
Yeah, so that's a big differentiator. Sometimes you wonder, like, why buy from here or there? And often, the answer is customer service, or a company's been around for a while. And in this case, that's a big differentiator, that you get a 1-year warranty buying from Voro, and 6 months typically if you buy somewhere else. So good to know.
Correct.
Cool.
Correct. Next thing that I want to share is so we have refurbished promotion online. So customers can get refurbished Dualtron models for up to $600, $700 off. Insane deal. So if you want to get a refurbished model, you can go onto our website and get one if they are in stock.
Okay.
Yep.
And then what sort of warranty do the refurbished ones come with?
Okay, so the refurbished models comes with a 6 months warranty. So it covers the battery, motor, the same standard stuff.
Yeah.
Yep.
Cool. That's pretty cool. I noticed that on your website that you've got the refurbs on there, so that's a nice option.
Yep. So next thing I want to share is for our Dualtron customers, or all of our customers, we are working on an exclusive support video library. So that would include video tutorials on how to maintain your scooter, all the knowledge that you require to upkeep your scooter for the long run, and also how to do modifications. So this is a new thing that we are going to introduce. We will teach customer how to modify your scooter to your liking, and we will carry all the parts for the modifications required for Dualtron. The best part is that if you do the Dualtron modification through us, your warranty will not be voided. Yep.
That's great. Yeah, I know you've got a huge library of support videos for the other scooters, and so happy to hear that that's also coming for. You're going to do that for Dualtron as well. Correct.
So last thing that I want to share is if you have a store that sells e-bikes, one wheel or electric skateboards, or a bicycle store, and you're looking to carry Dualtron products, we have a very good wholesale price and dealer support. You just have to go onto our website, go to the dealership portal and apply for dealership.
Wow, cool.
We are welcoming dealers that want to carry Dualtrons.
Cool stuff. All right, and Chuck, I don't have the questions doc open right now. So do we have any questions for?
Let's see here. So one question from PEV Riders Club: would the Dualtron Victor be the best overall hands-down scooter by Dualtron? I mean, we can answer this. We can talk about this later. Melvin, if you have an opinion on this one, feel free to share.
Okay. Shout out to PEV Riders Club. So it's a father and son group. Okay, so I think Dualtron Victor is the best price point in the Dualtron lineup that brings the most value with what you pay for.
All right.
Cool. Thank you, Melvin. That's the only question for now. I'm sure there'll be more.
Awesome. What's that? Ruben?
This is one I got at it right now.
Oh, we got another question.
Yeah. Oh,
I'm not seeing it.
Hold on, it's not right now.
do you want me to
Oh, I see. Ramir's grabbing another
copy
question for us.
pasting it or something?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
My computer is there.
That's all right. No worries. Is it a workout question? That's a silly question.
Is it a workout question?
I don't know. I saw something in there. Anyway.
All right. We'll cover it ourselves when we get to that one. But all right. Well, thanks so much, Melvin, for joining us. It's always a pleasure having you, and we really enjoyed checking out the Victor.
All right. Thanks, Paul. Thanks,
right.
Chuck.
Okay. Bye-bye, you guys.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Okay.
All right. So we'll get into the deep dive. So as I mentioned before, so we're gonna get into.
We have a little. I think we have a little intro. For before the official deep dive, the
okay.
ESG version of the deep dive. Let's roll that thing.
All right, and we're back. All right, so we're going to get into it. And again, we're going to cover the things about the Dualtron Victor, things that we think people will love, things that could be deal breakers, things that people should know about before buying, and how they did it, how they did all this technological wonderfulness that is the Victor. And so we already covered sort of range versus price and range versus weight. And so now we'll get into the top speed. And so the top speed is pretty stunning. It goes, actually, I forgot to write the number down. I think it's over 45 miles an hour. I think it's 45 and a half miles per hour. And here's the chart. And so this is all the top speeds starting with 20 miles an hour and above. I've charted it here. I got cropped off the lower one so you could see. And anything above the line is exceptional for its price. So this is range versus price. And you can see the Victor is the fastest scooter at its price. So there's nothing to the left of it on this graph that's higher than it. And it's just you're not going to typically want to go 45 and a half miles per hour, but it's pretty fun knowing that you could. And then I'll show you the acceleration curve. And this one is kind of interesting. I've put it on a curve, on a graph with the 10 fastest scooters in the world. And it's down towards the bottom here in the purple curve at the bottom. But the point is that it hangs with the big dogs here pretty well, and in fact beats the Visette 10 Plus for top speed. But you can see, down in the early parts of the curve, the Visette is actually just has a much more bottom end, and this has more top end speed. But you can see it stacks up against all these other scooters, and there's a few little dots in there where we don't have full curves, like the Ryan is in there as a single dot. So, but it is a fast scooter, and for its price, there is nothing faster. And the other thing is, and I don't have images for this one, but the handling is pretty amazing. It just made me want to carve corners everywhere I went when I rode this scooter, and that's because of the short wheelbase, the tires, the suspension, the brakes. All of these things work together to make it just that you can just chuck it into corners, and it's for sure like the best handling Dualtron scooter there is, and really one of the best handling scooters in the world. Other things that I think people will love about it is the portability. I mean, obviously it's not an ultra portable. This is a 75-pound scooter, but for its performance level, the portability is pretty amazing. This thing's like 1.8 inches longer than the M365 Pro. It's 5 inches shorter than the Visette 10 Plus, and so it's really surprisingly compact. Oh. TDR Drones and E-Bikes, Super Chat. Thank you very much.
$20.
All right.
Legit.
Thanks, guys. We really appreciate
US dollars.
it. Yeah.
That's good.
And then so it's 5 inches shorter than a Visette, but it's actually faster than a Visette 10 Plus, but not quicker. Visette's faster at the bottom end. And it also has world-class brakes. There's another thing we think people will love. It stops from 15 miles per hour in 9.7 feet, which is like tied for 7th best stopping distance ever. And anything under 10 feet is just stunningly good at braking. And then, again, adding all these things add up into the best handling, most fun Dualtron I've ever ridden. And we'll cover a little bit more on that later. So now let's get into the deal breakers. For some people, the deck is just going to be too small. It's for a scooter of its speed. it's short. It's like 20 inches. And in fact, it feels, Chuck and I came up with a new thing, is like the feels like score. You know, we talk about like how the temperature outside, and then there's like the feels like temperature. This scooter feels like an even shorter deck than that. It feels like about an 18-inch deck. And the reason is on screen here is you feel a little bit crowded by the handlebars. It's got a great steering rake. I mean, the fact that the steering is leaning back that much means that it's going to give it more stability up front, but the cost is it crowds you a little bit on the deck and pushes you back and makes you feel the deck feel even shorter. Now, to contrast that against the Thunder and most other scooters, I just took both these pictures this afternoon. You drop a straight line from the Thunder and it comes out at the front of the deck. It's not crowding the deck, and that's more typical. Like most scooters are not crowding the deck, and then on the Victor, it is getting a little bit crowded. So
a famous one is the boosted rev, right?
Oh yeah,
that's real famous for basically punching you in the stomach when you need a break. But anyway, And so for some people, you know, it's kind of sporty feeling and it's kind of tight feeling. But for some people who like, if you really like a scooter with a large deck and with a large feeling deck, you know, this might not be the one. And then one of the side effects of that is because you don't have as large a platform to plant your feet, then you end up holding on more with your hands because you're not, you don't have the leverage with your feet to keep yourself from moving forward or back when you're hard on the brakes and hard on the throttle. And so, let's see. And then the other thing is to compound on that is that there isn't a footrest at the back of it. And so, which has two effects. One is it makes it a little bit hard to pick up. There's not, the deck itself is not really good to grab onto. I usually end up grabbing it by the rear suspension arm, which isn't like the most comfortable thing. But they make a handle. And it's not even a Dualtron handle. There are two different aftermarket ones that you can get. And here's an example of one of them. Bolts right on, makes it really easy to pick up. And then some people actually use it as a footrest. To me, that wouldn't be comfortable to use as a footrest, but some people find it really works. And so that's one way to make the scooter feel a little bit longer. I kind of like, if I had this scooter, I would definitely buy an aftermarket, rear fin or footrest, something like that. Just because when you're going that fast, it's nice to just feel like you got a wall behind you, or something that's like something extra besides just your hands that are making you hold on the fast takeoffs and stuff like that.
And then also, as we found out, your feet would creep backwards and you end up standing on the fender a little bit.
Yeah, for sure.
And then in fact, the fender will actually work loose if you do that enough. Like I ended up snugging it up a little bit. Okay. In fact, here's something I should share. The fenders the bolts are hidden and they're really hard to get to. And some people would actually resort to taking the whole rear wheel off just to get to the fender bolts. And we'll cover this in the review that's going to come out in a couple of days. But if you take a regular Allen wrench and then grind down the head of it until it's shorter, then you can use this to get in there. Use a long one, not a short one like I did. This is miserable actually to use, but a longer one would work really well, and you can get in there and tighten up those fender bolts if you need to. So if you have a Dualtron Victor, you're going to need a tool that looks like this. And then, so that's it for the deal breakers. It's really, otherwise, pretty great. But there are a few things that you should know about, one of which I already covered, which is it's not the easiest thing to pick up if you don't have that handle, because it just it's not super heavy, but just not a great place to grab onto it at the back. Other things are stem creak, and this is like kind of mind-boggling. Every Dualtron we've got, it's not a big deal. It's super easy to fix, but the stems all creak. Like if you just grab the handlebars and push it back and forth. This will also be in I didn't put a clip in this deep dive, but this will be in our review video. The stems on all Dualtrons just seem to creak, and it's so easy to fix. 5 minutes, you loosen up a couple bolts at the bottom of the stem, spray some, spray on lithium grease, and work it in there, tighten it back down. Literally 5 minutes and it's done, and it seems to just stay fixed. All of our Dualtrons don't squeak anymore. So that's just one of those, again, thing you want to know about, because if you have the stuff on hand, your first day is going to be fine. If you don't, your first day is going to be squeaky. And then also the IP rating, they don't have an IP rating, which if you don't ride, in the rain, not a big deal. But it's, just something you want to know about, because if you're thinking about riding in the rain, or if you're planning on riding in heavy rain, maybe not the best thing. And one of the examples of where it's not protected is in a photo I've got here of the rear swing arm bearing. And that's you can actually see behind the swing arm. This is our scooter here. You can see that there's a really nice tapered roller bearing in there, which is like, I'm like, yes, that's the stuff. That's what you want to use to make a swing arm, move smoothly. It's great, except that it's not sealed. So if you were going to ride it in the rain, packing that with some waterproof grease would probably really help. But I would just probably avoid riding in the rain. And then something else that came up in discussions, people were talking about how the regen felt a little, even at the lower setting, the regen felt a little strong sometimes, and there was a little bit of a lag to it. And I just found, just turning it off, you set it to 0, and that it felt a lot better just using the mechanical brakes. And it does turn all the way off. Not all scooters, some scooters you turn the regen to 0, it actually isn't all the way off, but this one it is completely all the way off. And then another thing is that when you do reach the end, people are unlikely to encounter the behavior like the last mile of your battery. But when I was doing the range test, when I got to like 38 miles, it kind of cut out a little bit. Like if you had more than 30% throttle, the throttle would go away. And then if I'd back off and then get back into it gently, then it would go again. So in a way, it kind of is letting you know you're getting down to that last mile, but just something to be aware of. And then another thing might be if you right away are planning on riding at night and riding fast at night, get a bright light for up on to mount up on the handlebars, because it's got some nice lights. Everybody's going to see you coming on this, but if you want to ride fast at night, you're going to need to project a little more light down the road. And so, but let's get back into what's amazing about the scooter. So we talked about it. It's amazing range per pound. And it's you kind of wonder how they do that. How do you make a scooter go further and weigh less? And we've got a photo here of the biggest secret of the scooter, and that is that it uses different battery cells than other scooters. So most scooters use a laptop battery cell, which is called an 18650. It's 18 millimeters wide by 65 millimeters long. And then this scooter is one of the few that uses a 21700, an LG battery that's 21 millimeters wide by 70 millimeters long. And it's not just a bigger cell. Of course, a bigger cell is going to have more energy in it, but it's also more energy per pound, and so it's just more energy density, and so you just end up with you can get more miles per pound out of your scooter, and that's kind of like the biggest thing they did here. And again, we'll look at that battery chart, and you can see how this performance shakes out. And here in this version, is the same chart as I showed before, but I've highlighted the eMove Cruiser because that's one of the other scooters that has those 21700 cells in it. And there's one more coming. The Wolf King GT is going to have those cells in it, and I think we'll see more coming along. But it's kind of a rare cell. I think there are only like 4 manufacturers that make those, where there's like just a huge amount of places you can buy the 18650s from. All right, and then let's see, and then and that all goes together to make the thing about 5 pounds lighter than it should be, considering what it can do. And so I've got the next chart, which is the range versus weight. Wait, I guess we kind of already did that. All right, so let's go. Richie was a step ahead of me in the right place. We're going to go into the amazing handling. So another kind of amazing thing is like, how did they make this thing my favorite handling Dualtron, maybe one of the best handling scooters ever? And one of the big things is the tires. So it's got it's the first Dualtron to have 10 by 3 inch tires, and it's made by, I don't know how you pronounce it, Tuovt, Tuovt, and they're some of the best. You can't get like a PMT tire in this size, and so in this size, for whatever reason, 10 by 3s feel really good, and then this is the stickiest of the 10 by 3s. Other scooters that use this size of tires, like the Phantom, the Visette 10 Plus, the Wolf Warrior X, some of our favorite great handling scooters. And
And then the other thing is the suspension. It's got fantastic suspension, and it's not just it's got the suspension cartridges, which you can change out, and which you can see here. They come in different grades of different hardnesses. So it's not just that it has the rubber suspension, which I love, but it's also one of the best setup suspensions for me anyway. It's perfectly sprung for if you're 150 pounds to about 200 pounds. This thing right out of the box for me is just like perfectly set up for handling. It's firm, but it's got some, it's got enough range of motion. And then if you're above that weight or below that weight, then obviously you can change out the cartridges, or also you can adjust the height as well. And that costs nothing. You just pull the swing arms off, rotate them, and then put them back on to adjust the height. And then the other thing that helps this thing turn so well is we mentioned it's got a short deck. So the minus of that is that you feel a little crowded. The plus of a short deck is it means short wheelbase, and shorter things, if you know from riding skateboards, shortboards versus longboards, shorter things go around corners better. Short wheelbase cars go around corners better. It's just a thing they do. And so it's just, you've got great handling. And then the width of the deck also comes into play. It's your feet, you just have so much room and so much leverage with your feet. You end up steering with your feet more than I do on other scooters. And it's a really grippy deck too. And so that just feels really good carving around corners on this big, on this wide deck. And then of course, the brakes, tires, suspension, and the hydraulic brakes, all this sort of add together to give you just a really good handling scooter. And while it's not a grand tour, it's got tons of range, but it's not necessarily something I'd want to go on a super long trip on, because you're in a kind of a tighter space. And there's the Thunder, if you want to do that, the Dualtron Thunder. But it just makes me want to carve like everywhere I go. It just makes you want to just ride kind of sporty. There's no range anxiety, so you can just kind of cut loose and like use the electricity, because you've just got you've got so much in the bank. And then the throttle is not super arm yanky. It's it's fast, but it doesn't yank you around. And so that actually is kind of it just helps you relax and kind of corner a little better. It's easier to apply the throttle mid corner, and so that adds to the handling. To me, adds to the fun of the scooter. And ultimately, it's literally like the fastest electric scooter that's going to fit in the trunk of your car. And even if you don't want to go 45.5 miles per hour, just kind of knowing you could is part of the fun for me. So there we go.
Well said, Paul.
Yeah. What did you think? What do you think of the Victor?
The Victor. It's for victory. No. No. I mean, so I am partial to deck size. That is, if you look at my About Us page, right? Deck length. It's
Your
kind of a joke,
queen.
but it's not a joke actually. So I do like to be comfortable. I'm less of a sporty person and more of a cruiser. So I actually kind of prefer the Thunder myself. I know this show's not about the Thunder, but if I'm in that range of $2,700 to $35, which I think is what they have the Thunder for, I may, but it is larger. However, a scooter that's that size, if I need to put it in my car, right, which I don't as much anymore, then this one, would probably be the best of the Dualtrons, I would say.
And there is something fun about like a big motor in a big battery in a small package. Like when you're hanging around with your buddies and you're like, oh, hey, what if we took the motor out of this Corvette and stuffed it in a little Fiat or something? I mean, there's something cool about just having that sort of like concentrated evil. I don't know, just like just like anyway.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And it deserves a place. I think this scooter will stick around, where like the line of Dualtron is like getting pretty big. So I think, they can start chopping some. This would probably be one to keep, because it's got a lot of the upgrades and it's a newer gen, Dualtron.
And it's got I think the value in a lot of different categories is sort of performance per dollar and then performance per pound.
Well, our audience loves those it's like the value you get for the money is there for sure.
And it's not it's not like, a super inexpensive scooter, but it's funny when you look, when you do performance per dollar, like speed per dollar, range per dollar, it still actually hangs at the top of the curve.
It's kind of like the it's like these light heavyweights we call them, right? The 65 to 85 pound category. It's like I think it's like the very top end of that before you go to your 90 plus, like the Thunder and the Wolf Warrior and things like that. So because those don't fit in a lot of cars. So it's like I don't know. The more I think about it, the more I say that this is at the top of that light heavyweight category with the Mantis, the V-Set. I don't know, the Phantom,
Wolf X,
all of those.
Yeah,
we do have a lot of questions also from the audience, and then I'm hoping we can get to some of the news before you have to go.
Oh yeah.
I'll talk about EUC stuff later. Real range, I answered this in the live chat, but but for all the people that watch later, honestly, what is the real range of the Victor? From John had a bunch of good questions. So 39.3 miles is the real range. That's the sixth fastest, right? We've ever
sixth
longest
ever.
Fastest.
Yeah, and that's in top performance mode.
Yes,
and that's with me riding it around the neighborhood as fast as I feel like I can get away with.
John asks, is the Victor truly a big dog approved scooter?
Only one person can answer that in this room.
Oh, hold on. Got you. I got you.
Came back with no audio. So I was typing. When I was typing my thoughts because I knew someone was going to ask this question. It is. I think, Paul hit on a couple of downsides for big dogs, which is for most people. The small deck is small. When I first got on it, I put my back foot on the fender, on the back tire, and I hit it pretty hard because, it's a short deck. But once you get used to it, it's okay. The low height of the stem is pretty low. You have to crouch. Like if you look at some of the riding videos, some of the riding footage, you can see me crouching a little bit.
And that's true of all the Dualtrons. They're all
37.8.
Yeah,
so it's
just under 38.
It's sport. You got to be sporty.
And they do make the plus side. They do make a riser for it, and the cables are long enough to use that riser. So
that would be a great addition.
Yeah.
What else? The creaking. It creaks, but I was riding before Paul fixed it, and I got I heard a little creak, got a little flashback. But anyway, it's great range. The speed is pretty cool, and I think if you're like a working person, if you're going to work, if you're doing food delivery, this is pretty cool. Like it's something that it lasts. Like the range is pretty good, and it's dual motor. Like sometimes when you have these dual motors, food deliveries or whatever, if you're going to work, it's kind of heavy. This is a little bit on the not say lighter side, but it's pretty light for me. Like if I was doing something all day, I would put this in my car, park it somewhere, and then be out and do my, do whatever, show it off, ride around, and be back. But that's my
so big dog approved or not? What's the verdict?
The first thing I said was yes.
Oh, you said yes. All right. Cool.
It is.
All right. Next question. Let's see. Retail price. I think it's $34.99 right now on Voro Motors website.
No, the Victor is.
Oh, sorry. I'm thinking Thunder.
$26.99.
$26.99. I'm sorry. And if you go on our coupons code page, you might find something on there.
I'm not sure about. Oh, I think there might be a new.
I think that might be the only place online that there's anything.
Yeah.
Anyway, don't know what the Chinese battery version of that is. John Richardson, is it difficult to change out the suspension cartridges on the Victor?
Let's check to see how long it's taking me to go home. Not that hard. The hardest thing is getting the fender bolts off, and you only need to take off one side, but they're really buried in there. Once you get those out of the way, then it's pretty darn quick. And that was the rear end, and it's I expect it's the same on the front. So not too bad.
Cool. Francisco Herrera gave us CLP 2500. So we're going to try to answer this question, but I don't know if I can answer it. Thank you for the super chat. I just buy the Chinese battery version of the Victor. It's going to be much different compared. This is a question. Yeah. Is it I think the right way to say is it going to be much different compared to the brand battery versions greeting for Chile? I didn't know there was a Chinese battery version.
Didn't know that.
But different, different countries can, Minimotors can do what they want.
Yeah, I mean, the main thing I would look at is just look at the amp hours of the battery, and then look at the, compare it to. You can go on our database, electricscooterguide.com. We have all the, the range and the watt hours of the batteries and all of that, and you can just do a little ratio. And if it's 2/3 of the watt hours, you can estimate it's going to be about 2/3 of the range. And then I'd be curious the weight difference, though.
Yeah, and then also, you're not getting the LG probably, right?
Yeah.
And a lot of people really want that longevity of the LG.
Right. Yeah. So there's definitely potentially some longevity to be had. there as well.
It's got to be at least a few $100 cheaper for that to make sense.
And we've seen scooters before, like the Warrior X Pro versus the standard, where the X Pro has a much larger battery capacity but weighed about the same or slightly less, and so there could be also a weight penalty there. Actually, there will be a weight penalty there. Yeah.
I think that's all the live show questions. So let's move on. And are we ready for the micromobility news? I think so.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, let's roll the micromobility news and see how many we can get to before Paul has to go.
All right.
All right. So for micromobility, so there's a lot of interesting stuff. I kind of previewed it at the beginning of the show. So first off, there was the Micromobility conference that happened last Thursday. Paul and I went to it. It's like the biggest, in-person conference, I think, in the world for just general micromobility. Horace Dedew is kind of the thought leader and the leader of that organization. He's amazing. I follow all of his stuff and always recommend, anything that he does. Listen to all his podcasts, whatever. He gave the intro talk. I won't go through every bit of it, but a lot of why we're here is because of his work, and a lot of that is about the unbundling of the car, and he breaks it down by miles. And I'm not going to show you all the graphs and stuff, but basically, most of the miles that the car are driven is those short trips, right? So those like 1 to 3 miles, even 1 to 5, but so many of them are like 1 to 2, 1 to 3 miles. And that's where the unbundling comes in. And scooters are, in a lot of people's eyes, part of that unbundling. So it's a quick preview. Maybe one day we'll get Horace on the show. I think he might be interested. I don't know. If you guys are interested, you let me know if that's interesting for you. Unagi unveiled. This is second.
That was a big one.
Yeah, this is probably, for me, this is probably the biggest part of the show. So Unagi unveiled the Model 11. So we have an article that we wrote it's on the website about, just all the plethora of new and innovative features to the Unagi. So this is some photos that we took while we were there. So there's David unveiling it. So I'll just give you some of the stuff. So it's got an ADAS system. There's a basically it's like what the car uses to detect like people walking, stop signs coming up, things like that. And it could, it'll alert you, and maybe in the future actually potentially even slow you down, not sure. So on Indiegogo, there's a with and without version of that, I believe. It's got, this is another really cool one, GPS navigation built into the scooter. So on the display, you'll see different lights around the ring, the display ring, for hard left versus soft left.
Wow.
Right? And then also there's a speaker in there, David, the CEO, being the Beats music founder, right? And then Grace Note founder. Yeah. So like huge into the music industry. But basically it'll actually integrate with Google Maps, right? And then the speaker will announce to you which way to go, right? When you're getting up to your turn. Plus you'll have the visual indicator. So really, really cool feature.
To me, that's the biggest thing. Like if it did nothing else but that,
for sure.
If it just told me which way to go,
yes.
Because like, what are you going to do? You either memorize your route or pull your phone out 10 times.
Absolutely. Yeah. No. I mean, that's how I navigate a lot of times. If I'm going somewhere new, I have my phone. I turn on as loud as it can go, and then you know what I do? I ride like you're doing a speed test. I'll crouch my legs, put my ear over so I can hear. Okay, I need to turn left at the street, and half the time I can't hear over the road noise. So having that speaker and having the visual indicators. I want to see what that's like, because that could be the game changer.
And in like many scooters, we're gonna have to wait for it though, because it's not till
next year. I think summer. I think summer next year. But
it'll be a while.
Unagi has a good history. They released their Model 1 on time, And if you watch the video on their Indiegogo, they do have some people riding the scooter actually. It's got, same inch, well, not the same, but it's got 9-inch tires, same motor power. It's supposed to be 32 pounds, and it has that elastomer suspension, which we've only seen right on some of the Dualtrons, the Inokim, right, the Ox and the Oxo, and that's some of the best suspension I think out there.
Yeah, and it's light. That's the thing is it's springy. It's got damping, so it doesn't it doesn't spring back too hard, and it's really light, so it makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, if you're gonna choose one type of suspension to put in there, I guess if you can't, I mean, I don't know the difference between hydraulic and that, but like, as far as like it's among the best suspension, definitely better than any spring suspension. And to be able to do it at 32 pounds, if that actually holds true with the way, I mean, I assume it will. We'll see. Then the other big one is it's got the swappable battery. They have on their Indiegogo 9,700 milliamp hours, which at a 33.6 volts converts to 326 watt hours. It was 282 on their previous model. The previous gave us 8.9 miles of range, so that extrapolates to 10.3 miles range with a hot swappable removable. What does that mean, hot swappable? Does it mean you can keep the scooter on while you change it? Because I don't think that's.
I don't know.
Isn't that what hot of swappable?
That's what it means.
I think it's just swappable.
I think it just means you can do it fast. Yeah.
Yeah.
But.
Are you doing okay on time, Paul?
Yeah, I got a couple more minutes.
Okay.
But and that's huge. Basically
with
if you throw a battery in your backpack, and now you've doubled.
Well,
the
the two
range.
biggest issues I think that people complain about with that, for our community, of course, it's going to be the performance for the price, right? That's going to be number one. And for a small scooter, that's never going to be there because you just can't do it. But the other two would be, the ride quality, right? And then also the range. I think those are the two biggest, complaints people had. And I think they're getting at fixing both of those. Anyway, finishing that up, basically they also have a motion sensor with alarm, Jeep, and like a kill switch if it gets stolen. They just threw a ton of cool features at this scooter. I think it's going to be an exciting thing. And if there's nothing else that Unagi has done, they've brought a lot of people to the electric scooter industry. So love them or hate them. They're bringing the masses to the scooter industry. I don't know if it's how much overlap like our community has with theirs. Maybe on our website we do more. It's not going to be enthusiasts that are probably going to love this scooter, but it might be the more general public, which is something that I could get excited about.
Yeah, I also get excited about just that they're doing something so different. We see so many scooters that are made out of lots of parts we've seen before, and when you see somebody do something completely original that's all their own, it's fun. It's exciting.
That's true. It's not a scooter you're going to find on AliExpress selling for half the price with no support. Yeah.
And speaking of people doing their own thing, one of the people we ran into at Micromobility was Carson Brown, the guy behind the Tor scooter. This is the one with the side-by-side. We've got it on screen here. This is one with the side-by-side foot pads.
No deck, just the two pedals. Yeah.
And we actually got to ride it. Chuck and I both got to ride this around. I actually took some close-up video, but we're not going to show it because it was a prototype. It's not like the finished thing.
I'm sure we'll get something later. Yeah. Because Carson's really cool.
Yeah.
He came over. We chatted a little bit.
So we actually we came over yesterday. We hung out for a couple of hours and just talked about scooters. We rode. He rode a couple of things. Put him on the Nami. Had that ride that around. And we just had a great conversation. We actually did a whole interview with him, which we'll be releasing in a week or two. But it was just super fun.
It was cool, and he knows his stuff.
He does.
Yeah, he's not like the marketing guy that doesn't know what he's talking about. He knows what he's talking about.
Yeah, he's like built cars himself.
Yeah,
and he knows that whole rubber meets the road thing, and So it was super fun.
Very cool.
And it's like, okay, again, it's one of those, it's a Kickstarter deal. And, with those, there's always a little bit of risk involved, but just at my gut feel I think it's going to happen. I think it's real.
Yeah, I mean, the scooter exists.
I mean, we wrode it.
And it's fun. Yeah. It's a good scooter.
And
it works.
Sounds like they're going to start shipping in November or so, if I remember correctly. So
a few more things they need to change. Andrew Yang was also at the Micromobility conference, so that was another highlight for a lot of people. Paul and I both took a video. So he was cruising around, and he ended up trying out the one wheel. I think we have a quick video if you want to check it out. This is so that's him. People were following around trying to get selfies and stuff. But yeah, he tried the one wheel for the first time, so that was kind of fun. The one wheel guys were out there.
And then you mentioned in the video you posted on YouTube, I guess he owns 4.
Yeah, so
scooters.
so he did do like a little interview up there about the future of cities, but also to announce his new political party is kind of like a pit, it's a little bit promotional for him. But anyway, yeah, he said that he actually has 4 personal scooters that he rides. And, I didn't get a chance to talk to him and ask him which ones they were, but he ended up asking for our video, actually.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah. So, like, he messaged us personally. So I should, we can ask him what scooters, or maybe one day he'll be on the show. But, sounds like he's into this kind of stuff. He understands micromobility, understands the benefit for the world, and he owns them himself.
I wonder if we'd have to get other candidates equal time to talk about their scooters.
If only.
We'd be down with that.
If only.
That'd be okay.
Also, ESC, the Electric Scooter Championship, was out there. Krog Skresian. What's his name?
Yeah,
I'm going to butcher his name. Anyway.
Super nice folks. They had 2 scooters. I was shocked, actually. I did not know the scooters were going to be there.
Without batteries, so we couldn't go and jam them off the floor. But here we go. Yeah. So Paul, we both got different videos at different times. That was great.
And just to see up close the way these things are constructed, and get to ask them some questions about them, and it was pretty great. They're just beautifully made. They made it of, I think, flax. It's natural fibers instead of carbon fiber. The bodywork is
gonna be farting.
And then just I'm gonna write up a whole article about sort of the first impressions and kind of up close look at the scooter. So that'll be on our website in a week or 2.
I used to dehydrate flax a lot and make flax chips.
Oh.
Yep, pretty good.
So you can eat the scooter when you're done with it. No,
well,
don't
that's
eat
what
it.
I'm saying. You could just, if you get hungry, you get stranded when you're at 0 miles, and you just chomp on your outer shell.
There you go. All right. Speaking of,
you got to get out of here.
I got to hit the road.
Ramir and I are going to finish up the news,
here.
but thank you, Paul. Right. See you tomorrow.
Right.
See ya.
I'm shot. Here, I'll scoot over a little bit. Okay, so... so next up, we've got the Royal... So, in London, right? In London, they've got... Can you hear that? In London, they've got... whatchamacallit? They've got their... Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, so the Royal Air Force in London is using electric scooters to get around, while at the same time, they're basically, knocking people for,
Keep talking, Chad.
Okay, it's hard. I'm losing my train of thought because there's a lot of things moving around. So London, they got people that are getting busted for riding their own personal scooters, while shared scooters is legal. And then at the same time, you got the Royal Air Force that is actually using e-scooters to get around. So anyway, it's just a lot of kind of mixed messages, I think, at this point for London. And then don't forget that if you do have a shared scooter and you ride it not too awfully fast, maybe you can put some stickers on there that are from a sharing company, and then maybe you can get away and they won't confiscate your scooter, right? I mean, it's a lot of hypocrisy going on.
They have the guns.
And they have the gun. Yeah, so
well, we're gonna ride. Not you guys.
Yeah.
What about get off your scooter? What?
Yep.
I'm joking. They wouldn't do that.
Next up, we got next up, Inokim, which you may know, one of the worldwide leaders in electric scooters. They are looking to file a public offering on I think it's called the Tel Aviv Stock Exchange. So they're going to go public. Which is pretty interesting, which may give them some cash potentially to expand further. So, I think that's interesting, because I think Inokim is one of those companies where they don't get a lot of attention in the U.S. because I think their post regulation is kind of how they build their scooters. So they're all kind of built for 15 or less miles per hour, which is what regulation does to electric scooters. Which we may have that happen in the United States at some point in the next couple of years.
Maybe
we'll see. We'll see. I talk about Inokim all day long, but I'll just say, that's kind of interesting. It's the first electric scooter company that's purely personal electric scooters that is going, looks like it's going to be going public.
That's pretty cool.
I'm going to buy stock. I'll get some.
Too. Let's call, what's his name? Who's the guy? our connect over there.
Nimrod.
Yeah, Nimrod Shapiro.
So I'll ask him what his take is
Some
on
insider trader right
this. Oh, yeah, right. Okay, next up. So this is one that Paul put on there, but California is actually working on a new stop sign law for bicycles. And then since electric scooters are kind of the same legally right now, the same as bicycles in California, that means for us too, it's already passed, like, I think part of this whole thing. And then it just needs to be signed by Newsom, who is now is still our governor. He didn't get ousted. So it'll be interesting. I mean, bikers don't ever stop at, stop signs anyway.
Yeah.
I mean, I only stop at them because, like, I'm trying to set a good example and, like, be like, citizen number one and everything. But hey,
I don't know. That's kind of dangerous, though. Think about it. You get two scooters or two bikes approaching us.
Well, it's supposed to be a yield. It's supposed to be a yield.
Yeah.
The thing is that, like, I see bikes. There'll be people backed up at an intersection. It's 4-way stop sign, and then you see these bikes just come along and they just roll right through. They don't care who's waiting. They don't care about nothing. We need to, we got to be better than that. Just because we're new. We're trying to all be. I know everybody that's watching, is already that way, but. Hopefully I won't become that guy that, like, yells at people, but I do once in a while yell at a bike. I'll be like, slow down. I'll be like, guys, you got to stop. There's a stop sign. But in the future, maybe we don't actually have to stop. It'd be great. They were busting. I don't know if you remember, I talked about on the live show, but on our range test, there is a stop sign. The right side is a park with a little crosswalk, but you can see people from the park. It's not a street, it's a park, the outlet. And then on the other side, the left side, there is a street. So you can easily see if there's anybody coming. Nobody needs to stop. I don't even know why I guess they have a stop sign there for the people, for the kids and dogs that are coming from the park. That's fine. But, like, they had a cop that was busted, one after the next. And I was doing my range test one day through there, and I was like, ever since then, I slow down almost to a stop whether there's anybody at all, because I'm not trying to get a stop sign ticket. No way.
Yeah, Only thing that I'm like kind of the bikes out here. Those people are rude on bikes.
They
so
are.
Imagine if it's like a group of bikes
at least
and they
here,
don't yield and just.
At least
you need
here.
to make a right turn.
What is it with bicers? Bicyclers. I don't have anything. I know you ride a bike.
I'm a biker, but I'm a respectful biker. Like, I don't stand in the middle of the road. Like, I'll pull to the side.
In Berkeley, I tell you, I think I'm not going to say it.
Well, we're not.
I shouldn't get political, but there's a little bit of entitlement, I feel, with those people on bikes, and I've been yelled at on bikes. Justin, when he was here, he got yelled at for being on a scooter in a car, and then I got honked at on the NAMI. Remember that the other day? Yeah. Anyway. Okay, next up, we got Minimotors announces the Dualtron City. So actually, we have an article on our own website,
nice,
where we kind of took a look at this and just kind of, basically gave our opinion on what we think this scooter is all about, who it's for. And this is not out yet, but if you scroll down a little bit, Richie, you can see the photo there. There we go. So there's two big updates with the scooter. One is the giant tires. So if you look at that picture, there we go. Yep. If you look at those tires there, they're 15-inch tires, which is just like massive. Dunks. I mean, the biggest, I guess it's like 11, 12-inch is the biggest, normal electric scooter tire. So you're going to 15 inches, which probably is a lot safer, maybe more stable, and then also this removable battery. So it's interesting to see Minimotors. It does not look like a Dualtron to me, but it's
check it out. I know David probably going to put it in a chat. You guys click that link and head over to the website to get the full scoop.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah, David did it, and then keep those questions coming. I think David should be popping them in the live chat, but I see a couple questions coming in. The latest scooter fail. So let's show the latest scooter fail. Man, there's a
fail video.
There's another one every week. This one's particularly interesting. I don't like the ones where it looks like people are dying on scooters, but the ones where look like he got clotheslined.
You see his neck. He's like,
He just turns his head. At least he turns his head away from it, and it looked like it actually got him below the neck.
Oh man, I hope that guy is safe. Even though I'm laughing at you, but
Well, what do you? I mean, like, That's just a silly one because it's like I'm sure he's not trying to like not pay for parking in that place, and he could have gone around. He just wasn't paying attention.
He was just playing a game in his mind. He was like, dun, dun,
Yeah.
dun, dun,
Yeah, he's trying to beat the train. Okay, and then finally, what happens if you're in Lithuania? And I don't know if you've you know who did a good video on this is Casey Neistat, right? He got a ticket for riding his bike not in the bike lane,
Oh, okay.
right?
I haven't seen it.
Yeah. Oh, it's the best video ever, right? So basically, he's getting a ticket. So then, what he does, he says, "Hey guys, like I'm riding a bike. I'm like doing the best for the world right now. I'm like, like all the beautiful things about riding a bike. Okay, great." And then he's like, and then basically after he got the ticket, he went around and basically just wrote, since he got a ticket, he went in the bike lane, and if there was anything in the bike lane, he just smashed into it on his bike. And he got video of him smashing into cars and like pop-up signs and and police vehicles. He smashed into police cars because they're sitting in the damn bike lane. Anyway, best video ever. But in Lithuania, there's a video of the mayor of Lithuania. Wait, Lithuania is a country, right? So it must be a city in. Anyway, watch this video. So there's cars parked in the bike lane. He was fed up apparently and took the damn tank and just rolled over the cars there.
Oh, so what can you do?
I mean, that's one way to make a statement.
Run it back.
That's one way to make a statement. I mean, probably this is a publicity stunt. Nevertheless, I don't know about you, but being a biker and a scooter rider is pretty annoying. People think that the bike lane is like a parking spot. They can just park there. How many people are like stopping in the middle of the road, right? They don't do that. They go over to the bike lane, they block the bike lane, like bikes and scooters and every other device, doesn't matter. The ones that are actually have way less space to begin with and are actually doing, saving the planet in the meantime. Yeah. Let's block them. So anyway, a little frustrating. That's why that video, I thought it'd be kind of fun to play that one.
Didn't see that coming.
Yep. So a couple more questions, and then we're going to get to the Facebook giveaway. So let's see here. So PEV Riders Club, I said we would answer the question ourselves because we asked Melvin, but that is, would you say that Dualtron Victor is the best overall scooter, hands down by Dualtron? And I'm just going to say, I think the Thunder is their best scooter still. I've ridden, I've only ridden, I don't know, six different models, including the X, not the X2, but the X1. The X is a great scooter, but it's just not, it's just not practical for most anyone. Cause it's like that one, you really can't get into, like at least with the Wolf 4, you can kind of figure out your way to get it somewhere. That one is really, it's getting to be on the super, super large side. But for actual like scooter, I'm gonna say the Thunder is my favorite.
I haven't experienced the Thunder just
that yet. Thunder is like, you got the big giant deck, so it's like it's got the power, it's got a little bit more range. We already did the range test on it. I'll just tell you, the range was big. The range is
spoiler alert.
45.2 miles.
Wow.
So that's probably third longest that we've ever tested. And it's comfortable to ride. Like, and for me,
where is it?
Yeah, it's right there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no, we haven't gotten to it. I think Wolf GT is next. Ooh.
Yeah, I wrote that today.
That one's gonna be Anyway, so Wolf GT is coming next for us, but I personally think that the Thunder is. I think if you ask a lot of people that are like really know about Dualtrons, that have tried a lot of them out and have ridden them for years and follow the brand and stuff like that, I'm willing to bet that the Thunder would be the one that a lot of people would end up.
Thunder, lightning.
Let's see what other questions we got. VN Nguyen 319. You think laws will get tougher with scooters becoming so powerful?
Yep.
It will.
I think
it will.
I'm not looking forward to it though. But
no, I mean it's it's a normal. If you just look at just like the history of countries that scooters have been around longer, Singapore, Israel is a really good example. They're all regulated at this point. And so the U.S., we have a different culture here, right? We got that freedom culture. Like, we want our fast cars. We want to be able to do different things. So maybe there'll be different classifications, and maybe you can ride faster scooters in like rural areas, or maybe they'll make up something like that so you can still kind of get going on them. Because I would hate to be limited to 15. I think it should, if you're going to limit in cities, limit to like 25 or 30. At least let us go with the cars, because I think it's actually more safe to be able to like not be getting passed up by cars. Like I think if you can ride close enough that you're not getting whizzed by and everything, and people can see you better. But I think, lighting should be, maybe we do a whole thing on anyway, the question was, are they going to be, will they get tougher? I think that's a natural thing, but it also will bring more people and more riders into the industry. Because right now, it's, the unregulation is part of why I think sometimes, you got a 5%, 10%, like, issues with electric scooters when they're brand new. It's like they're going to get a little more expensive, but the build quality will get better. I mean, this will happen. I think this will happen. Yeah. And all the brands, a lot of brands are already like going that way. Actually, I talked to the fat scooter guys. You can kind of see what the larger brands like Segway, Ninebot's doing, right, with the slower scooters, but high build quality.
Man, I'm not looking forward to that.
They're boring.
It's
boring. It's boring, but
then again, I do smash 60 on the street just now with the GT, so I understand.
Careful. Yeah. You can't. But imagine if everybody's rolling at 60 miles an hour on GTs. It's probably not a good world at that point. Yeah. It might be a little rough. Legendary King says, which scooter is good for under $1,200? Under $1,200.
What you can do is go to the ESG
that's what I'm about to do right now.
And click $1,200.
Yeah, so the way I do this, because you can't remember anymore. I used to, know right away, pricing and stuff like that.
But so many more scooters.
Yeah, so basically if you show filters on the database and then you go price to $1,200, right? And then just scroll down, and then I'm going to sort by price, because probably the better scooters at the high end, I'm looking at, the Apollo City before they change it up. I'd say that one, the U-Scooter Booster. I think some of those smaller ones are pretty good. Actually, the Apollo Explorer is really good for that price. The eMove Cruiser is a little above that price. I'd look at it depends on what kind of scooter. Some of them, are you going for portability? Are you going for a little bit bigger? Things like
touring.
For me, eMove Touring, even though it's only 41 pounds or so, is awesome.
What else? I like that a little bit more, the Explorer. And then sleeper pick, I'm going for my list for my top 5.
Yeah.
Cabo, the 10S or the 10 whatever. It's pretty fast.
That's
single
true.
motor.
That's true. As long as you don't need a place to stand.
This is true.
Anyway, all right. Cool. All right, thanks guys. So thank you for the questions, and we're like the viewership is just boom, boom, boom going up as we keep talking.
And
about
boom
the news.
when I got back. I'm not joking.
Yeah, it's all you, man. People love you, Ramir.
I'm thinking it's the time, but whatever.
It is. People are like, oh, it's 5:00, time for the live show, but it's 4:00 now.
We got that one off. It's us two here.
Voss. Just kidding. No. Anyways. We love you, David Vosk.
And we also love our Facebook community.
Yes, we love our Facebook community. And David is actually, I think, the one that worked on Apollo with this to do this giveaway.
Yeah, let's introduce the bumper of we love our Facebook community, so it's time for the Facebook giveaway.
David Voss going to kill me. All right. So,
shout out to David Voss.
We forgot Photo Friday.
Oh, man.
You want to do the Facebook giveaway and then Photo Friday? Or should we do Photo Friday?
No, let's do Photo Friday. Whoops.
It's now time for ESG's Photo Friday.
Whoopsies.
And if you want to be a part of Photo Friday, just go on the Facebook group on Friday and submit your photo. Okay, or if you don't want to be on Facebook, have your friend submit your photo. Okay, honorable mention goes out to Chino Nazareta with none other than the Dualtron Victor. This picture was taken in the Bay Area. Where is that? I don't know where that is. It looks great.
Yeah, I have no idea.
Okay, so honorable mention, that's one. And the other one goes out to Lloyd Razone. Beautiful. All right, runner-up goes out to none other than Wrong Way, Adam Maliki with the 24-inch Begode Monster Pro and Showy Glamster. Oh, I missed the, okay. And the winner this week is John Anthony Balili with the Bumblebee King Song S18, Cebu City, Philippines. Ramir, have you noticed that the top two people that voted for Photo Friday are all EUCs?
Man, that's crazy.
Isn't that crazy?
A scooter show.
The scooter show, and then I think we got to start doing those.
It's a bunch
EUCs.
of comments every week about you getting on an EUC.
That's what PV Riders Club. I didn't. I answered him in typing while Paul was talking, but I did break my ankle. Unfortunately, or I broke a small bone in my ankle. Actually,
it's still broke.
Yeah, I mean, it's
can't
broke.
walk.
Yeah, I honestly was at the Western Regional Pickleball Tournament.
And you were sea walking,
and I was going left, and we were actually going up through the loser bracket. We ended up 3-2, and I rolled my ankle so hard that the ligament pulled a piece of the bone off.
Oh, yeah.
It's called a avulsion fracture.
Yeah.
Anyway, I got an X-ray because my whole foot was bruised, for a bit, and I was like, this is not like a normal ankle roll. And it turns out, I just
you're pretty hurt. Like I was gonna send a joke, but you sent the picture like, oh, it's not funny. But I'm gonna tell you what I was gonna send. It was gonna be the Peter Griffin, the meme where he's
from
like
Family Guy.
Yeah, and he's like holding his ankle.
Oh, I don't know this. I have to watch that
maybe
episode.
I should have sent it.
You should send me the episode number or something.
Okay.
I'll check it out. Yeah. Anyway, I wish it would, because at Micromobility conference, everybody was like, "Oh, did you get hurt on a scooter?" And I was like, "No. I've probably fallen like 20 times on scooters, never broken anything.
Yeah.
I'm playing pickleball, roll my ankle, boom. I'm out for probably 5 weeks.
But sports.
No, that's how it is. That's how it's always the thing you don't expect. And I rolled my left ankle a bunch of times, never had this happen.
Somebody said that's why Chuck hasn't mentioned pickleball. Because he can't play right now.
I know it's like going cold. Yeah,
he can't move around.
No, I play probably 15 hours a week, and I haven't played for like a week and a half, and it's like going cold turkey off your drug.
I know. Like when I first met Chuck, he had to either run in the morning or he had to play pickleball.
Yeah.
And if not, he'd be on edge every single time I see him. So
yeah, it's crazy.
Kind of edgy right now.
Yeah,
Chuck.
I think I got to work out. I got to find a new workout routine or something. Do some like push-ups or something in the morning. I'll figure out something. All right. Enough about that. We love our Facebook community. So now it's time for the Facebook giveaway. Okay, so this is a big one, and shout out to Apollo for giving away the Phantom version 2. Version 2, there's a whole laundry list of things they've kind of improved on the scooter. We're hopefully getting a version 2 from them so we can kind of like check out the differences. Although we like the Phantom, first version quite a bit, they do have a bunch of upgrades on that. So shipping is only to the US and Canada. We already have the list of names. It literally was like 1,000 people or something. So big shout out to Apollo for making this happen and partnering up with us on this. How does this work, Ramir?
We have all the names in the Rolodex.
Rolodex.
That's
old school, man.
I was gonna call them
in my PDA, in my Palm Pilot.
I have floppy disks in the desk right now. That's how I edit off of. So
5 1/4 or 3 1/2.
Don't know. I just press it in. If Doom doesn't start, I'll call somebody.
I got original Wolfenstein 3D. I got the box still. Everything, the shiny box.
But anyway,
okay.
All right, we're gonna hit this button. The randomizer is gonna go, and then it's gonna pick the winner. So, good luck, everybody.
Good luck.
Good luck.
Good luck. Here we go. Oh, you gonna count down or something?
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Click it.
Wow, that's a lot of names. How do they get all those names on that wheel?
Science.
Okay. Woo!
And the winner is Jeremiah
Arienda.
It's on the screen. Congratulations.
Man, the new proud owner of the Phantom. Hey, and just in time for Halloween?
Yeah. Hey, Phantom Ghost. Oh my! Why did I never notice
Phantom
those
and
names?
Ghost, right?
I never noticed those names.
The Phantom and the Ghost. Well, you know what it's from, right? When we asked them on the show, it's actually the car. You know, it's like what is it? Rolls Royce, right? They have the Phantom.
Oh,
Isn't that the one that Justin
yeah.
Bieber got done up or something? Right?
I don't know. It's in a bunch of rap songs though. Phantom and Ghost. Yeah.
Yeah,
So, makes sense.
I don't know about the Ghost. I don't follow cars that much, but anyway.
Congratulations, Jeremiah.
Yeah.
And thank you, David Ross, Apollo.
Yeah, thank you guys very much. And
Shout out to Melvin for coming on the show.
yeah, shout out to Melvin. Check out the Dualtron Victor. It's the most, basically, it's the fastest, longest range scooter that you could probably fit for that price and that you can fit in your trunk. So, you know, it's worth checking out. We're going to have the GT in a couple weeks. We're going to have the Thunder coming up. We got the Mini here. We're like exploding with scooters. We got this,
and we have the video for this coming out in a few days. Yeah.
The Victor's coming out probably Thursday,
Friday. I'm not too sure, but it'll be this week. We'll let you guys know. And
Yep.
It's a great one, man.
Thank you for supporting the show. Thanks for everybody supporting the channel. Ride safe. Don't forget to wear your helmet. We'll see you in a couple weeks, everybody. Bye-bye.